Today, we are going to learn about rounding of decimal numbers. So before we proceed with the rounding of decimal numbers, let us recall how to round off numbers or whole numbers. So in rounding of whole numbers, it's the same process in rounding of decimal numbers. Therefore, kung ano yung process natin sa pagra-round off ng whole number natin, ganun lang din yung gagawin natin sa pagra-round off ng ating decimal numbers. So now, in rounding of numbers, it is either a whole number or a decimal number. The first thing to do is to identify the place value that we are going to round it off. The second one is identify the digit that you are going to round off, or identify the digit of the given place value that you are going to round off. The third one is, after identifying the digit that you are going to round off, is you need to see or to look the digit to its right. Yung nasa right ng digit na ira-round off natin. So there's two cases in identifying the digit to its right. If the digit is greater than, or if the digit to its right is greater than 5 or it is equal to 5, then you're going to round off. And then if the digit that you're going to if the digit to its right is less than 5, then you are going to round down. So now, after that is, after identifying if it is a round up or round down, you are going to identify, or you are going to change the digit to its right by zeros and the digit to its left by remaining it or copying it. So to further understand this rounding off of decimal numbers, now let's proceed with explaining the illustrations or example of rounding of numbers. So let's have the example number 1. Round off 23.57 hundredths to the nearest whole number. First thing to do is to identify the place value that you are going to round off. So the place value that you are going to round off is the nearest whole number. So what is the place value of the nearest whole number? Pag sinabi kasi nating nearest whole number, ito daw yung whole number na pinakamalapit kay decimal point. If this is the decimal point, the nearest whole number is the 3, which is the place value is ones. Therefore, kapag sinabi natin round off to the nearest whole number, we always round it off to the nearest ones. So now, let's identify now the digit of the nearest whole number. So the digit of the nearest whole number is 3. After identifying the digit of the place value given, is we are going to identify the digit to its right. So yung digit na nasa right niya ay 5. So again, we have here the case or na dapat nating malaman. So if, okay, so let's have this one. So the first scenario that we need to remember, if the digit to its right is less than 5, then the digit that we are going to round up will remain. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya magbabago. Okay? If the digit that we are going to round off will remain, then ito yung tinatawag natin round down. The second one that we need to consider is if the digit to its right is 5 or greater than, then the digit that we are going to round up will be added 1. So, ibig sabihin, mag-a-add tayo ng 1 dun sa digit na ira-round off natin if the digit to its right is 5 or greater than 5. So, eto naman yung tinatawag nating round up. Okay? So, now, let's have these two case and apply it to our rounding off in example number 1. So, kanina, we have identified the digit to its right, which is yung ating 5. So, papasok siya dito sa ating number 2. Since the digit is 5, then we are going to add 1 dun sa digit na ira-round off natin. So, dito po sa ating 3. So, therefore, 3 becomes 4. So, again, round up tayo. So, pag round up, yung digit na ira-round off natin, mag-a-add tayo sa kanya ng 1, then now it becomes 4. And after that is, we are going to change the digit to its right, and it becomes 0. And after that is, we are going to copy the digit to its left. Therefore, our answer here is 24.00. Again, so if our decimal number is consisting of 0 and the digit to its right is greater than 0, then we are not going to remove the 0. But if the decimal number is consisting of 0 and there is no digit to its right that is greater than 0, then we can remove it. Again, kapag yung ating 0 ay walang digit sa right niya na mas mataas sa 0, then pwede na nating i-remove si 0. But if the digit is greater than 0, then we cannot remove the 0. Since ito ay walang digit sa right niya na mas greater than 0, then we can remove it. And our final answer will be 24. So now, this is how we round off the nearest whole number. Now, let's proceed with example number 2. For example number 2, we are going to round off 23.543 to the nearest tenths. So, now, we are going to identify the place value, which is the tenths. So, therefore, we are going to round it off to the nearest tenths. And after this is we are going to identify the place value of the tenths. The digit of the place value tenths. So the digit is digit 5. So this is the digit that we are going to round it off. After identifying the digit that we are going to round off is we are going to identify the digit to its right, if it is round up or round down. So since the digit to its right is 4, which is less than sa 5, then we are going to round down. Pag round down, we are going to remain the digit that we are going to round off. So, hindi siya magbabago. So, therefore, yung 5 natin magre-remain. It becomes 5. And after that, we are going to change the digit to its right by 0. So, change it by 0. So, ito yung chini-change natin na 0. And yung digit sa ating left will remain or we can copy it. So, therefore, it is 23 and don't forget the decimal point and the answer is 23.500. So, since yung zeros natin ay nasa rightmost at wala siyang digit sa right na mas greater than sa 0, then we can remove the 0 and it becomes 23.5. So, this will be our final answer. So this is for the example number 2. Now, let's proceed with our example number 3. So for example number 3, we are going to round off 72.045 to the nearest hundredths. So let's identify the place value that we are going to round off. So that is number 1. So hundredths. And after that is we are going to identify the digit of the place value, which is the digit 4. So, ito yung hundreds place value natin. And, identify the digit to its right, which is yung ating 5. Since this is 5, which is 5 or equal to, which is greater than 5 as well, then we are going to round up. So, pag nag-round up tayo, the digit that we are going to round up ay mag-add tayo ng 1. Therefore, yung 4 natin ay magiging 5. So, therefore, mag-a-add tayo ng 1, magiging 5. And yung digit niya sa right niya, magiging 0. And digit sa left niya is we will copy it. So, therefore, it is 72.050. So, again, our final answer here will be 72.05. If you have noticed, yung 0 natin dito hindi natin i-remove because yung digit niya sa right niya is greater than 0. And yung 0 natin dito, we have removed it dahil yung digit niya sa its right is not greater than 0. So therefore, our final answer or the round off of 72.045 to the nearest hundredths is 72.05. So this is how we round off decimal numbers. So let's have a recall in rounding of decimal numbers. The first one is to identify the place value that you are going to round off. So let's have the summary steps in rounding off. For number 1, identify the place value that you are going to round off. Next, number 2, identify the digit of the given place value. Number 3, identify the digit to its right or to the right of the given place value or to the right of the digit of the given place value. Number 4 is identify if it is round up or round down. 5th, change the digit of the change the digit to its right by 0. And next, number 6 is copy the digit to its left. So this is how, or this is the steps of rounding off. So you may follow the following so that we can round off our given decimal.